what's up, money?
I want to ask you something.
Hey, yo, what's up, money?
I want to ask you something. Can you funk legit?
Hey everybody, it's Steph Davis here from flipthiswholesaler.net. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you. Cheers. Clink. I am here tonight because I have another reader mail video for you guys. I know it's been a while, but I have an interesting question for you tonight. And it reads, hey Steph, I've got a question for you. If you were to move to a brand new city to start up a wholesaling business, knowing what you know now, what would be the steps you would take to get things up and running, and how long do you think it would take you to get your first deal closed? Inquiring minds want to know. Thanks, Frederick. All right, Frederick. Well, if I were moving into a brand new market, didn't know anyone, didn't know anything about, what was going on, I would, I'll break it down into a couple of steps, and then I'll go back and kind of go into each one in more detail. So the first thing that I would want to do would be to do some market research to find out where there was a lot of investor activity. So what areas or what parts of the city were there a lot of investors, particularly cash investors, buying properties. So that would be my first step. My second step would be, after I had identified one or two of those areas that I wanted to focus in on, I would want to go to work finding out who the active buyers were in that area right now. And then once I had found some active buyers in that area, then I would find out what type of deals they were looking for. And then once I had done all of that, I would, and I felt, comfortable with, the area that I was working in, what the buyers were looking for. Once I had done that, then I would go in and either start marketing for motivated sellers or start making offers on listed properties, or both maybe. So just to go back to the beginning, the first step I said would be to do some market research and find out where the areas were in that city where there was a lot of investor activity. And the way that I would do that would be to get on the MLS, and I would get access to the MLS somehow. I personally think it's the best way to do research in a market. I would either, find an agent there who was willing to let me use their access, or maybe become a realtor's assistant if that was something that was feasible. But I would get MLS access somehow, some way, and just go in there and start doing searches and seeing where there was an abundance of cash sales, or where there was a lot of investor activity. So that would be my first step. Like I said, the second step would be to find who some of the active buyers were in that area. And I would do that. There are a couple of different ways to do that. The first one, again, would be MLS Research. I would look at, some of the most recent cash sales in that neighborhood and just go drive by the house and see if the investor was there or there was a sign in the yard, and then contact them. Also, just driving around the neighborhood looking for rehabs going on. If there were some rehabs going on, just stopping and talking to the people. If there were for rent signs, calling those up, and just, spending some time going out in the neighborhood and trying to find out who some of the players were and who some of the, the people were who were currently investing in that neighborhood. So, and then once I located some of the buyers, my third step, like I said, would be to find out what type of deals they were looking for. Now, I'm already going to kind of know, have a general idea of what type of deals they're looking for, because I'm going to be looking at those comps, those recent comps, and so I'm going to see what they're, buying. I would go drive by. If there were any cash sales, like really low cash sales in the neighborhood, I would drive by them just to get a better idea of what these investors were buying. But more importantly than that, and it's just a lot easier to do, once I had tracked down some of these investors, give them a call and take them out to lunch, or even just call them and ask them, what type of deals are you looking for? Can you tell me, I'm a wholesaler, I'm new to this area, what type of deals are you looking for? That to me is the simplest way to get familiar with a new market is to, or get familiar with what a good deal is in a certain neighborhood, is to just find some active buyers and then ask them what they're looking for. So I would spend some time, that takes a little bit of time to do that and to get familiar with the neighborhood. But once I felt comfortable, I had some buyers lined up and I felt comfortable with what I would have to get a property under contract for in that area for it to be a profitable deal for me if I wholesaled it to one of these end buyers. Once I felt comfortable with that, then I would, either if there were a bunch of REOs on the MLS, I would hit up the MLS and start making offers, or I would start marketing for motivated sellers, either via direct mail or bandit signs or something like that. My preference is the MLS. I just think it's easier to just go and shoot out some offers. So those would be the steps that I would take. Number one, market research, locate some areas where there's a lot of investors. Number two, find the investors, the active cash investors. Number three, find out what they're looking for. And then number four, once I've done my homework and I feel comfortable with all of that, and I have a pretty good grasp on what a deal looks like in this particular little farm area that I'm working, then go start making offers or start marketing for motivated sellers. So. And then to answer your second question, which was how long do I think it would take me going into a brand new market, starting from scratch to get a deal closed, I think probably 30 days is probably pushing it. I think I could do it in 45 days. I think that would give me enough time to get in there, find out what's going on, start making some offers. So I would say 45 days. Maybe I'll have to try it and see. Challenge myself to go into a new market and see if I can do it. But anyway, so I hope that answers your question, Frederick, your questions. If any of you have anything to add to what I've said, feel free. And if you have any questions that you'd like to ask about anything I said in the video, feel free to leave a comment below. So you guys have a great evening, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.